Hi class, welcome to week 6, discussion question number 1. How might this theory potentially overly accentuate the idea of self-worth of an individual? And I'm just going to touch a couple of areas on the book, and I'd like to touch briefly on the Gloria and Carl Rogers session and just kind of some thought behind that. So first of all, person-centered therapy, I have to say I am not a fan. Um, on page 263, I wanted to read person-centered therapy emphasizes the primacy of the individual and is often criticized for contributing to modern narcissism as the erosion of any shared sense of meaning or value in contemporary society. Um, that, and I wanted to continue on 264, kind of that top paragraph area. Rogers had a profound respect for the client's perception of reality, since this inner reality was ultimately the means of what promoting development and growth in the individual. It is to experience that I must return again and again to discover a closer approximation to truth as it is in the process of becoming in me. Neither the Bible nor the prophets, neither Freud nor research, neither the revelations of God nor man can take precedence over my own direct experience. Person-centered therapy boldly asserts that the client, not the therapist, should be at the heart of psychotherapy, and hence it is a person-centered, since only the client has the resources by which to become more aware of and remove his or her obstacles to personal growth. So I agree with that to an extent. I do believe that um, the client needs to really talk through. I think talk therapy is very helpful because in this case, that's pretty much what Gloria did in her sessions with Carl Rogers. In all 5 parts, she pretty much did a lot of talking, and Carl Rogers did a lot of repeating in relation to um, what Gloria was saying. And I don't really see he did a lot of exploring on what she was expressing. I know that she initially was trying to find an answer, and she just basically wanted to, she came out and said, I want you just to tell me what to do in this case. And of course, we're not going to do that as counselors. We want to help them in their journey and um, kind of uh, help them with finding that solution on their own. But I think that it does take more than just repeating the client consistently and having a lot of awkward silence. There were some areas that I really appreciated, such as when she came to a little bit of a transparency where I indicated that reminded her of her father, but she would wish that her father would be as good of a listener as he was. And he says, well, you seem like a good daughter to me. And I could see that kind of set her back a little bit for a moment. I don't think she was prepared to hear that or receive that, I should say. Um, so there were a couple of key components to that therapy that I thought were not only genuine but positive in movement and helping her through that session. Um, what I didn't care for were the awkward silence, moments of awkward silence, and his continually repeating her. Again, I know that we'll repeat our clients, let them know we're present, but you could see that she felt a little kind of like he left her hanging a little. Um, And then she did mention at a point where she felt like he was giving conflicting direction or um, and just not clear. Um, and I would say that maybe that's just because there was not as much of the exploration, but so I wanted to talk about why I feel that the client-centered focus on therapy, and not necessarily the greatest, because I mean we want to get to the heart of the root of the problem, and I think trying to find what that source is and helping them walk through that journey of, hey, let's explore that particular feeling, that particular emotion, and then they can do this together, work through this together. But I feel uh, like if we're just focusing on the client and not necessarily bringing in the therapist to be a bigger part of that, uh, is, in my view, not the greatest benefit. Um, so a couple of things I wanted to point out and why we wouldn't want to, or why that may not be the most successful, is one of them is in scripture, Jeremiah 17:7. It says, but blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. And I think if we're focusing so much on the client and we're, we're putting so much worth or attention onto them, then we're not putting that worth and attention into the Lord, which is what we should be doing. I'm surprised that Carl Rogers had such a relationship within the church and then just kind of turned to this direction of therapy. Another scripture I thought would be provide some clarity is Isaiah 40:31. It says, "Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength." So our strength comes from the Lord, and when Carl Rogers is moving away from Christianity, then that wouldn't be the most beneficial method in helping the client with with seeking that solution, because then they're not seeking that solution within the Lord, so but within themselves, and that could be a problem all in itself. So anyway, that's my pitch. I'm sorry that it was so long. I was trying to articulate how I wanted to explain that. Have a great night, and I look forward to commenting on your posts. I've seen them, and I just love the ideas that each of you have expressed in them, so I can't wait to respond. Thank you. Have a great night.